Ask the Chiropractor. I'm Dr. Corey Rodnick from Midland, Michigan, and I'm so happy to be joined here with my lovely wife, Dr. Tony Rodnick.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
And my son, Dr. Paul Rodnick.
Thanks so much for having me, Doc.
We got the Rodnick clan here, at least part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the clan.
A fraction of.
A fraction of the clan. So today we're going to talk about history, and it's great to be here, and great to have you guys. We're going to do history of chiropractic and try to bring like a timeline a little bit about where chiropractic is today and how we got to where we're going. Also, we want to talk about the winter, how to be safe in the winter, which should be fun. So, so the history of chiropractic. So it started in 1895. By a gentleman, he was some Canadian guy, Dr. Palmer, D.D. Palmer, and he was working in a building. Before he chiropractic, he worked in. He was a successful anatomist. He was also a fish. He would sell fish market, and then he got into healing and magnetic healing, and then he got into chiropractic. He started chiropractic. So he was adjusting a guy named Harvey Lillard. And Harvey Lillard worked, he was a janitor in the building that Dr. Palmer was in. And he noticed that, he was deaf. Harvey couldn't hear, the sound of the wagons going by. He couldn't hear, a watch, things like that. And so he had bent down, heard a click in his neck. At 17 years later, Dr. Palmer's examining him, and he noticed that there was a vertebra out of place. And it took him about 25 to 30 minutes to convince Harvey Lillard to have that vertebra put into place. And then immediately after, he gets his hearing back. So the first patient had a hearing condition. And then after that, he thought he had the correction of hearing problems, but it turned out not to be that, because the next patient had a heart condition and didn't fix the hearing problem, but fixed the heart condition. And that's my understanding of it. If you could fill me in here on
So yeah, early chiropractic was actually advertised as a cure for deafness, and like you said, not necessarily the case. It's not always a cure for deafness, and it has been repeated in, present day. Sometimes people will get their hearing back from a chiropractic adjustment, but chiropractic isn't meant to be a cure for deafness. Once he did that adjustment, and once he started doing other adjustments, he started looking into it a little bit more and kind of realized what he was doing, and it goes back to how the nervous system works, where the brain controls everything in the body through the spinal cord, through the nervous system, and it goes through the spine and through the vertebrae. And if those vertebrae are moved out of place, it puts pressure on those nerves going to the hearing or the heart, or the muscles in your neck that get tight, or the muscles in your low back that get tight. So chiropractors, we do a great job with pain relief, but what we're doing is we're affecting everything in the body. And when he started off, it was really just kind of an observational anomaly. He just he was doing magnetic healing and found out, hey, there's a bump right here. This vertebrae is definitely shifted. What do you say? Let me put it back in. And yeah, probably took some serious convincing. But once he did it, he got his hearing back, and he was deaf for 17 years. Just bent over one day and heard a click, and all of a sudden after that, all he could hear was just a buzzing. He couldn't hear anything else, and all of a sudden he got the bone moved back in, and his hearing's back, which is a pretty amazing story. And then from this, just, I don't know, it's almost a random occurrence, like I said, just a observational anomaly. He started looking into it and saying, you know what, these nerves go through this vertebrae, these nerves go through that vertebrae, and it started off as a cure for deafness and developed into a health care that it is today.
So I just read something. It was a testimonial from Harvey Lillard. He was saying that it was actually 2 adjustments, and he had tried all kinds of other things and had given up on ever having his hearing back before he started seeing Dr. Palmer. And then I also wanted to say, if it's nerve related, if the nerves are impinged and that's what's causing the problem, then when you release the pressure on the nerves, it can function more optimally and improve. But if there's a problem within the structure itself, like if the ear had a ruptured eardrum, or if the middle bone ears that were fused together, something like that, a problem that was not nerve related, then it might not. So not every condition can be totally corrected by the adjustment, but it can be improved. The health of the organ can be functioning much better if the nerve signal is working better. And that's why the second patient didn't get her hearing back, but her heart condition improved.
As long as it's neural related, the benefits of chiropractic increase immensely.
Correct.
So I think chiropractic is one of the best well-known secrets known to man right now. It's like, I mean, people now hear, they've heard of chiropractic, but they don't understand it. And that's our fault, I suppose.
And it just seems so logical once you hear the story and how it works. And we just don't.
Makes perfect sense, yeah. Nerve related.
And, and it doesn't have to be an issue that's nerve related either. Chiropractic does wonders for prevention as well, because as long as you're keeping those nerves unimpinged, your body will be regulating itself properly, healing itself properly, and you won't be developing problems 10, 20, 30 years down the road. You keep everything unimpinged, and it makes it so not only you're healthy now, but you can continue to be healthy, which is, again, one of those best-kept secrets. Chiropractic does a great job of prevention.
I think you could best describe the philosophy of chiropractic is we feel the body is intelligent and we need to help the body function to its optimal, to work its best, as opposed to some other philosophies of healthcare where they think the body is stupid and needs to be controlled. So we want to work with nature, help the body have the proper nerve supply, help the body give it the proper nutrition, and all the other aspects of health, and teach the patient to take care of themselves in a more natural, healthy way.
Like, when you say that to me, I keep thinking about, well, first of all, now I am older. So I've had my 20, 30 years of either screwing up or doing things well, and what benefits, that implies. So here I am, I'm eating wrong, it turns into a problem. It's not overnight, didn't happen in a day, happens over years of doing things wrong, or years of doing things right.
And that's even with a health-conscious person, because of the need to get things done quickly and the time restraints, we don't always eat the best. But you have a degree in nutrition and you know how you were supposed to eat, and we all screw up, we all mess up, we all don't do things the perfect way.
Well, I wasn't specifically talking about me on that, but okay, yes, but absolutely. But the point
okay, then I'll talk about me.
No.
I've gained weight. I've gotten to unhealthy eating. I've eaten more processed sugar and processed foods than I should.
Yeah,
and now I'm trying
to
take control. Yeah.
I don't mind talking about me, but it's one of my favorite subjects. I don't mind talking about you. You're also one of my favorite subjects.
And our son is one of my favorite subjects.
There you go. So my point is that I was getting into emergency versus
prevention
and wellness. So emergency, let's say you do something long enough to where now you say, oh my God, there's actually, like I had a heart attack. I ignored the heart attack. 9 days later, I'm like better. And as an afterthought, I said, maybe I should check it. Well, holy cow, I had a heart attack. Okay, next. But my point is, when do you start taking things into your own hands and say, all right, I want to be healthier? I mean, pretty much everyone who has a heart attack, the next move they do is have them exercise, eat right, just the basic stuff again. You follow me? Which is great.
And sometimes it takes a crisis to remind us of the importance of taking care of ourselves.
And then in the emergency section, you have you're no longer thinking wellness and all that. You're thinking emergency. Do whatever it takes to get that's where the thinking of, like you were talking about the different thinkings. Our thinking is,
And in an
most
emergency,
of the
the
time,
body might need the extra help. We might need to control it from
you
outside.
might need to control it for a minute until it gets back on its feet. And then if you do the prevention stuff, and most of the time, you're going to have a very positive benefit from eating right, nutritional, exercising. You leave
Sleeping
any
right.
of these ingredients out, long term, you're basically goofed.
So let's jump in real quick. I just
Yes.
want to take a second and talk about the dream, living the dream.
Go ahead.
Because
I love the dream.
in the aspects of your life, there's 5 pillars that you should really stick to become healthy. And those 5 pillars, we have an acronym, and the acronym is DREAM, DREAM. And if you're doing all 5 of the aspects of the dream, then you're living properly. Now, if you're just doing them, I'm kind of getting sick, so let me do all 5 of these things this week, and then that's not how it works. Like you're saying, it's the prevention, it's the long term. So the D in DREAM stands for diet. You want to have a proper diet, not just some of the time. You want to have a good diet all the time. And diet, a lot of people hear that word and they think, oh, diet, you got to be on this diet or that diet.
And diet's not always calorie restricted either.
What diet really means...
Diet doesn't mean that you got fat. Like you're saying, diet doesn't mean you got fat, now you're on a diet.
Yeah. Diet just means anything that you put into your body, that's your diet. This is my diet, that's his diet, that's your diet, that's her diet. That's what the diet is. But you want to have a proper diet. And the proper diet, everyone knows what's good for them, what's bad for them. If it comes in a package that crinkles, it's probably not good for you.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If it comes in a package that crinkles, probably not a good one.
Yeah, so,
okay.
Most people know what's good, most people know what's bad. They eat things that are bad for them because it's quick, it's easy, it's convenient, it's cheap, whatever their reason. I'll just eat this real quick, I'll eat that, I'll pick one of these up. But you know what's good for you, you know what's bad for you. Try to have a good diet. And again, over a 20-year span, it can lead to other issues.
Yeah.
And how you eat it too. A lot of times we're eating it in the car, we're eating it on the run, we're not focusing on eating, we're just not allowing our body to assimilate it properly. We don't chew it enough. So how you eat is important
religiously, we normally do a prayer before we eat. And most people don't know what the purpose of that prayer is. I mean, you can look at it from many different angles. And I've had numerous discussions about this. The reason we pray and be thankful for the food and all that is to molecularly convert the food that we're eating into the molecular level of what we need to consume to molecularly have the food digested and converted into us.
Interesting.
And that's the purpose of it.
There's a book that shows the effects of prayer and positive thinking on water. I can't remember the name of it. Something in the water. And they have like electron micrographic pictures of the crystalline structure of water. And if you pray and think positive thoughts, it's beautiful crystals. And if every time you walk past the water, you go, you're so ugly, you're mean, you're destroying the world, and just negative thoughts, and it's like totally changes the structure of the water.
If you haven't seen that, you can look it up on your phone or online.
Do you know what the name of the book was?
I think it's Crystalline Water.
Or the Secrets of the Water or something.
I think if you look up Crystalline Water, you might find it. I haven't looked it up in years.
Yeah.
But it's a big thing out there, and it is pretty amazing.
I've seen what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it is pretty easy to look up.
Yeah.
Just type in, water crystals and emotions, or
effects of
positivity,
emotions,
negativity, and water crystals, something like that, and it'll come up. I've seen that before, and that is a pretty amazing study.
Do you remember the name of the book that talked about the poinsettias? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that Life I don't know. Shoot. But anyway, there was another study, like you're saying with the crystals, there was another one done. They EKG'd the eggs. And
The plants.
well, one was with eggs, and then they also did. Oh, let's talk about the plant one. So the plants, they had people come in and they would talk nice to the poinsettias, and they would also electroencephalogrammed them, and they EEG'd them, not EKG, EEG'd them, and and they would respond normally, and then they took a guy, and they had him destroy a bunch of plants. Poinsettias, just rip them to shreds, and then they brought him into the room, and the poinsettias freaked.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so they could actually know. So they were somehow communicating. There's open communication from plant to plant,
That is
things
very
like that.
interesting.
And we know that because of the what's that one giant plant that has a root system on the ground? It's like a forest.
Sequoias or no? Those are one
No.
big tree.
No, the sequoia's the one big one. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the one that had the root
I know what
systems.
you're talking about. The redwoods or
I wish I knew. I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
prepared for this at all.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Though.
And
It's
so
all one big.
so
forest.
when somebody walks in, I'm talking about there was a bug eating them, the little caterpillar, and it was developing different defenses. And what happened was the deer were coming in, and they couldn't understand why they had all these deer that were dead. And the deer came in, and what happened is one of the researchers knocked a tree, and all around that whole area now were secreting poison on the leaves, so that when the deer ate it, they would die.
Oh wow.
And it wasn't normally in there. It's the lactic acid. It was lactic acid.
Wow.
It was lactic acid that was released. Interesting things out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, that goes back to the praying thing
Yeah.
that no one knows about. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, by the way.
No,
Go
no
back.
problem.
You were on the first pillar.
All right. Well, I think we're done with diet. You want to have a good diet. You want to have a good diet throughout
And
your
the
life.
nutrients. Let's talk a little bit more about nutrients with the diet. So you have a diet. So let's say you're taking food, processed food. See, biblically, again, I'm going back biblically, the ground was supposed to be left alone every 7 years. You're not supposed to, you let the ground replenish itself, minerals and things like that. So back in the old days, they would leave but they don't do that anymore. Sometimes we'll have multiple crops per year. 3, 4 crops. So,
So
there's
we've
nothing left
depleted the nutrients in the soil.
We've depleted the nutrients in the soil. So like when we're eating salad, we think, oh, finally something healthy. Yeah, it's got fiber, but there's no nutrients in it whatsoever.
So what nutrients do we need? Why don't we talk about what kind of nutrients?
Okay, so there's fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins. So the water-soluble would mean that every day you have to get more of it because your body flushed it out. So that's like your B complex, which is great for energy, happiness, zestiness. Like I'm a B complex right now. So and then you have vitamin C, which holds your skin together. And let's talk about C for a second. That's what started the whole vitamin thing. We used to take these, the ships would go out for months, 6 months. They'd go fishing for 6 months at a time. And what happened is they didn't have vitamin C on board. They didn't have oranges, grapefruits, lemons, or limes. Limes was so important. These people would come back and they'd all be dead. They would hemorrhage through their skin. So blood would come out all through their skin. It would leak. That's what vitamin C does. It stops the cells from leaking. So they call it, another word for it is intercellular cement. Holds all your cells together. So they would come back hemorrhaging. So what's the first thing you do if a ship comes back with everybody dead? What would you do? Blame it on the women. So they blamed it on the women, so women weren't allowed on these ships. You follow me? That's why they were grumpy. when they came back after 6 months. Anyway, so that's a waka waka waka. So first that was the beginning of it. Then after that, they were still dying anyway. And then they found out it was the limes. The limes were what saved them. And that's why back years ago, the Navy, they all called them limeys. A limey, because that's what saved them from when they came back. So anyway, so that was vitamin C, then B complex, etc. And then you have like A, D, E, and K. Those are fat soluble. Like, you know, your carrots with A. What would be if you didn't have A? You get fibrosis. So you're going to get a lot of fibroids, either breast, or with women, you see this pretty often, or ovaries. They'll have fibrosis.
You know, vision issues too from vitamin A.
Vitamin A, you have night blindness. So you go out at night, you can't see a thing. Like lately, I've been like super nutritious lately. So all of a sudden, I could see in the dark again. If I used to have a light, I had to have some kind of light going. I could just, it takes about that long, and poof, my eyes adjusted. I can see at night now. I'm not tripping over my shoes or anything anymore. I had night lights. She can testify. I had like little night lights everywhere, and she hates when I do it.
And we'll talk about that when we get into the rest.
Okay. So anyway, so that's what happened there, and so that's A. And yeah, vitamin K there's different clotting things, and D, and especially D in this state, we don't get a lot of D in the wintertime. So that's why.
Because our bodies can make D when they get sunshine.
So you want to get D in something else. D.
You can get D from animal sources like eggs and meats and stuff like that too.
And cheese.
Cheese.
Okay. So there's different things. So you want to get it where it's not so processed. So here, if I take oil, and I take that oil and I make it into something molecularly similar to the salad or to a vitamin or to a, it's not quite the same thing, because I know right now we're comparing apples to apples. So you say vitamin C apple compared to vitamins from a cherry, compared to vitamin C from an oil. Like you pump oil out of the ground and you convert it into vitamin C. However, there's so many things that we don't know about nutrients at this time. It's unbelievable how little we know. And we're discovering things all the time.
And when we're processing the food, we're making it so it won't spoil. But that also makes it so it doesn't assimilate into our bodies the same way too. So we're looking at it for one purpose, and it's creating all these problems because it serves different purposes that we didn't even know about.
I have noticed a lot more people are getting, what do you call it, the kind of food that's
Organic.
Organic. A lot more. Each market now carries organic. It's a little expensive compared to the regular. However, you don't have to worry about pesticides. I think that's a biggie.
Well, it's a little bit more expensive now when you're buying the food, but it's a little bit less expensive than when you
Later when
have
you're
these medical
organ.
bills.
That's right. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll become better and better and better. And so that's all I wanted to say about the different nutrients.
Okay.
Let's get back to the pillars.
All right, so living the dream. We got the D is for diet, R is for rest. You want to make sure that your body is staying properly rested. When you're resting, your body takes the energy that you would be using in your muscles or in your, whatever you're doing, and takes that energy and uses it for healing, recuperating, taking care of itself. So you want to make sure you're sleeping. They say on average you want to have 8 hours of sleep per day. A lot of people don't get that 8 hours of sleep, but you want to be staying properly rested.
And you want to have good sleep. You want to, I used to sleep, can you believe this, with my TV on. I'd fall asleep with the TV on, and I'd wake up when something loud came on, and it was always disturbing me. And they're saying you want it dark and quiet because your body will function better. Your body will produce more melatonin, more good hormones, and take better care of itself if you have a good quality sleep as opposed to disturbed sleep.
Now you just have me disturbing your sleep.
At least you're not tripping over the shoes.
Right. So the thing with sleep is you want to get REM sleep. That's the rapid eye movement when you see the dog twitching on
And
the
that's
floor.
when you're dreaming.
And so to get that, you can actually focus your mind when you're going to sleep. Okay, with one, you can fill it with positive thoughts. I am happy.
And leaving the
I am
TV on
healthy.
doesn't fill it with positive thoughts.
Oh, man.
Subconsciously, you're getting all these commercials or you're getting all these negative things.
A couple times I had the news on the TV. And I woke up nightmaring myself. And I made it into my head that I don't ever have nightmares.
Yeah.
I only have like happy dreams. Because I tell myself that. Your brain kind of goes through like the things of the day, and it redoes things and solves problems, and your body does massive healing at that point. You want to kind of, so what I do anyway, is I think some happy thoughts, and I am peace, love, I am effervescent, whatever you want to say, and healthy, wise, and whatever. I am a genius. So I'm trying to move on, but at least, and then when you go to sleep, you're going to kind of pick up a lot of that. I also tell myself I want to go right to a dream, and I only want to remember happy dreams. Dreams that will help me in life and on my quest through life or whatever it is. And I say all that, and that way I get like happy dreams and fun dreams. I rarely get a negative dream. And I've had them. Don't get me wrong. I've had the same negative dream 300 times. So I now have stopped that. And it didn't serve me, so I changed it. So, and by thinking different things, then heading towards a dream, I get my rapid eye movements very quickly. It might take some people 2-3 hours.
Some people sleep all night and not get to that point.
Oh God!
It's
they
not
wake up
restful.
exhausted.
They're tossing and turning all night. They're sleeping, but they're not getting rest.
If you're sleeping and you're getting 12 hours of sleep and you're waking up totally exhausted, there's something very wrong with the system you're running.
Yeah.
Because it's either that you're not getting REM sleep, that you're not doing things to get REM sleep, that you're taking maybe medications that make you sleep, but doesn't take you through REM. You're skipping REM.
Or you have a baby waking you up 2, 3, 4 times in the night.
There's another good one. So what you want to do is, it could be you're not exercising or you're not eating right or any other pillars. You follow me? So you want to look at those other pillars too.
Every one of these pillars works along with the other pillars.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you could be taking a medication that just makes you tired all the time.
If you're starving to death, going back to the D that we already talked about, the diet, then no, you're probably not going to be sleeping that well. But if you're doing all of them together, they'll all help improve each other.
They do. They all do. It's amazing.
Same thing. If you haven't slept in 4 days, you're not going to say, oh, I shouldn't go make a nice organic meal.
No, you're gonna crave the sugar.
Something quick because I got to get to sleep. Yeah, something
they
sugar.
they all work together.
That's funny.
And then once you start eating the healthy food and don't even crave the unhealthy food, your body, you're just feeling healthier. You feel like exercising more. You do all these other things that promote the health also.
And you'll eat something at one point that you used to eat, and you'll oh, a popsicle sounds good, and then you'll eat it and say, this is disgusting. The things that used to be so good, when you get away from the
funny
bad
you say
foods,
that.
you very quickly forget about them.
So I'm running from the movie theater to go to the museum with my 3 little grandbabies the other day. 'Cause I'm running on time. I have a time problem. And so I say, okay, we're going to go get something to eat. So for the first time, it's been how long?
3 months.
3 months
3.5
since
months.
I've eaten fast food. So I ordered, I'm not going to name anything, but I ordered a couple of double cheeseburgers when I combined it into a quadruple burger. And I thought it would be succulent. And I'm eating it, and I'm like, this isn't too good. It actually doesn't taste good. And like
feels greasy, it tastes greasy.
But we used to
I
love
thought it
that.
wasn't greasy enough, or something's wrong, because I'm not enjoying this thing. Probably was dripping grease everywhere. But I'm just saying, it didn't have enough salad in it. It didn't have enough lettuce. There wasn't any tomatoes. I said, something's wrong here. I couldn't figure it out as I'm biting it and I'm chomping on it and I'm going. And afterwards, for 2 hours, I went, oh, I feel so sick. That wasn't the response I was actually planning on here. I was planning on, this is going to be amazing. And I got quite the opposite. And might be the last one I'm going to eat for another 3 months. I can't believe it
Or
was
longer.
that bad. Doggone. Brr. I was really expecting to be in heaven. Greasy, drippy. So then I said, you ready for this? So I rationalized it. My brain did this. Well, it's because I went to that particular outfit. I should have gone to some other company and got their greasy burgers because it would have tasted better. My brain actually said that.
I'm trying to rationalize it.
Rationalizing, like, well, the reason it wasn't so delicious,
Because I know that I love
we
greasy
know
burgers.
how great it is. It actually went around in my head. Anyway, what's the next pillar?
All right, so we talked about diet, we talked about rest, now we're going to talk about exercise. A lot of people hear the word exercise and they think of, well, I got to go to the gym and I got to pump iron. And exercise isn't lifting weights. Exercise is getting up and moving, using all your muscles, exercising your lungs. That's the exercise we're talking about. Don't just be a couch potato. Get up and move. If you want to go to the gym and lift weights, that's fine. That's included in exercise, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
What's sad is our children these days, their exercise is playing with their phones or their video games, and they don't get out as much into the fresh air and sunshine. They don't use their bodies as much as we did as we were growing up. We need to teach people how important it is to go and do the physical activities.
Oh, yeah. And that is becoming more and more of an issue, too.
Yeah.
As technology increases, there's more and more options for kids to do without getting up and moving.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing a big increase in childhood obesity, childhood diabetes, childhood sicknesses, childhood diseases that really have to do with, the 5 pillars. Not only exercise, but diet and proper rest. And, they're staying up all night playing these video games, and then they're eating things that crinkle, and they're not exercising. It all goes together. But yeah, it's becoming more and more of a problem.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we go. So, as far as exercise goes, we're the chiropractors at the Arnold Classic. Ta-da. Okay, so that's the largest sporting event in our country. And we do chiropractic care for these people, and they're mostly pretty darn healthy people. These are the health fanatics. These are the health gurus.
Isn't it sad that the positives, the healthy people, we call them fanatics. The people that are eating healthy and organic, they're the fanatics.
That is interesting.
That's
so
brilliant.
what our
And
society
yet,
has come to.
It's changing, though. It is changing.
Yeah.
That's a horrible realization, though.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. Organic is becoming more and more popular. There's exercise is becoming more and more popular.
When exercise, Jack LaLanne started his TV show on exercise. He was a fanatic, and people were saying, this is crazy. You don't have to exercise. And nowadays, everybody goes to the gym and stuff like that.
Yep.
For you younger people, that's the guy who was doing the Juice Tiger.
Jack LaLanne is jumping jacks. He invented the jumping jack.
When you do jumping jacks at school, he's Jack.
Yep.
He's the real guy.
Before that, they were called star jumps.
He's actually a chiropractor, too.
Just passed away a couple of years ago. He was 94 when he passed away, but he was, throughout his whole lifetime, one of the healthiest people that you could ever think of. He exercised, even in his 90s. He did, every time his birthday came around, he did something to outdo his last birthday. And, his diet, his exercise, his rest, he was a guy who was doing all 5 pillars. He was living the dream.
I'm in these different organizations, like the International Chiropractic Association, the Federation of Chiropractic Licensing Boards, and they take us, these different schools usually sponsor our events. So Jack LaLanne, before he passed away, the last probably 10 years of his life. He was setting up these elderly workout centers. And it was like each one was a station. So you sit, you ride the bike, you go over this thing, you take the thing, and you're moving your arms. You go to the next station. It was a video, and they would tell you how to do it of each machine for old people. And about 20 stations. And they were probably like $1,000 each. It was like 20 grand worth of stuff. And he developed that, and I don't know what it's doing now. But I was able to see that at Parker College, and I was amazed. It was like, wow, what a setup.
He developed quite a bit of health-related things in his lifetime.
Well, yes.
Whether it's the juicing the fruits and vegetables, or he developed different exercises. He popularized exercising and eating right in a time before exercise and eating right was popular. Yeah,
Correct,
he was
correct.
the fanatic. But yeah, he
now-
will be missed.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of like, he's also doing that as well. Him with Netter and all those guys, they really put on quite a deal going on here. It's growing, which is the main thing. Every year that thing grows. It's like unbelievable. And all kinds of athletes. But the point I was making, is with the exercise, there's all kinds of different exercises. Like you said, it could be walking. It could be riding the bike. It could be, when you're exercising, it could also be vacuuming the floor.
It could be a
Properly.
You can even exercise while you're sitting on an airplane, because one of the things from sitting too long on an airplane is deep vein thrombosis. So they say exercise, because the veins don't have any pump, like the heart pumps the blood one way. So to pump it up, the muscles do. So they say, like, rotate your foot around, or squeeze your calf muscles and things like that. So you can exercise while you're sitting down.
I do this one.
Yeah.
Makes the whole plane move. But
Yeah, we can all do that.
yeah, it's the gastroc, the muscles behind your leg there, those balls, those gastroc
So you
muscles.
don't do just that out of nervous tension. You do that with a purpose.
Because I'm pumping the blood.
You want to pump the blood back up.
Yeah, sometimes I do the right leg, sometimes I do the left leg.
Sometimes I do both.
Sometimes I do both. So what's the next pillar?
So diet, rest, exercise. The A is for attitude. Positive mental attitude. It's really important for being healthy. When you have a positive mental attitude, as far as healthcare goes, but as far as in every aspect of your life, a positive mental attitude will keep you healthier than a negative attitude.
So what is a positive attitude? Well, let's hear one. I am abundant.
Yeah, just staying
That's a
healthy,
positive-
staying happy. Just I'm healthy. I'm happy.
I am
just,
happy.
And these
healthy,
are affirmations, just telling yourself
wealthy,
that.
wise,
So
strong,
positive affirmations, positive self-talk.
positive,
The example,
self-talk. Yes.
The example I like to give a lot of times too when talking about positive attitude is a scenario where you have two people who are recovering from a surgery or from an accident, and you have one person, same exact case, either way, one person is recovering by themselves, laying there in a room, in a bed. The other person, they're in a room with balloons and flowers and family members. And which one is going to be recovering better? The one that has the more support, the one that has more positivity around them. And it's of course it's that way, but it's the positivity makes the difference, and it really does.
There's 100,000 white blood cells for just a smile.
There you go.
Creates 100,000 white blood cells. That laughter, so great.
Yeah, they say laughter is the best medicine. It's true. People who stay happy and positive, they stay healthier.
Yeah, absolutely. So the self-talk, we all have this little voices talking in the back. Years ago, they used to lock you up for this in asylums. But nowadays, I guess everyone's come clean. We have little voices talking in our head. And some voices are negative. Our ego, like in psychology, is the ego wants to take credit for everything. So it'll be the one that says, I told you couldn't do it, because it wants to be right. Or I knew you were going to fail. It wants to be right. And if you do something successful, it goes, see, I knew we could do it. That kind of thing. That's that little voice. So you take that one and I smack it in the head with a big anvil. And I say, I fill myself with positives, because negatives are going to come anyway. The planet's negative. Everything here is dying or dissolving. The creation is very minimal. You create new babies, but the second that's done, you have to do all this work to keep the baby alive. To keep, it's like a lot of work. Because the earth itself, like the trees, the leaves, they fall and they rot, and that's how the planet is. So you don't need help getting negatives. We got plenty of that. Earthquakes, tornadoes.
Snowstorms.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, because there's a snow season going on. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing. Like right now, there's like freezing 14 inches of snow in different places. Holy molios. So
surprisingly, Michigan's getting off easy.
we're getting 50-degree weather.
Yeah.
I was sunning the other day. But,
So instead of
positives.
focusing on the negative, oh, it's snowing, I can't go out, focus on, I'm glad I have this nice warm house that will protect me from the snow.
And look how beautiful it is outside.
Yeah, snow can be beautiful if you don't have to go out in it.
That's a perfect example of being positive.
And I take my dog and go, all right, you're going to keep me warm, man, because it's cold outside. Great example of that, if anyone ever saw the movie Groundhog Day. He relives the day over and over and over again.
Which is today, isn't February 2nd Groundhog Day?
Wow.
Yes, it is.
You're amazing. Yep.
I'm sorry I interrupted. Go on.
No, not at all. So being positive, attitude. What's your attitude on everything? And again, that B complex. A lot of people have all these negatives because they're lacking in B complex, because they're not eating fresh greens that are cut fresh, and fresh vegetables, and fresh this and that. Instead, they're eating this microprocessed stuff that crinkles in a bag. So, and the point is, you're not going to have that positive if you have no B complex in you. How often do you need B complex? Daily. Every day. It's subtle, it's quiet. After about a week, you have nothing in there. 2 weeks, you're totally depressed. That's just because you don't have any B complex. So silly. Anyway, that's not the answer for everyone with depression. But anyway, let's go to the next pillar.
All right, so diet, rest, exercise, attitude, and the M stands for maintenance. Anything that's in motion is going to constantly need maintenance. Your car needs maintenance. Your body needs maintenance. Your body actually has a system set up to maintain itself. It's your nervous system, and it connects your brain to your body, and vice versa, connects your body back to your brain, so everything can communicate, and that's your body's maintenance system. So the M in maintenance is maintenance of your maintenance system, is maintenance of your spine and of your nervous system. And that's what we do as chiropractors, is maintain the spine, maintain the nervous system, so that your body can essentially take care of itself. And that's what we do. But you can take care of your spine a lot of other different ways. Everything helps each other out. So getting up, doing that exercise helps take care of your spine. Keeping a proper diet, keeping the right nutrients in the spine helps take care of the spine, take care of the nervous system. But making sure that the nerves stay unimpinged and unpinched, again, which is what chiropractors do, that's the final pillar of health.
And we can teach you how to help maintain your spine too, besides us adjusting you certain like ergonomics. Like you want your computer so you're not looking down and hunched over. You want the screen and eye level or slightly up, and teaching you proper ways of lifting things, other things that can help you maintain your spine so that you don't need to be adjusted as often.
Yep.
How do you know when your nervous system is completely screwed up? I know one way is just take your hands, bring them up, and if they match like my hands are right now, then you're screwed up. If you bring them up and they line up, then your nervous system is better. But if it's going like this, then, I mean, obviously if the whole right side of your body is a giant spasm and 6 inches shorter than the other side, you're screwed up, right? Your nervous system is way out of whack.
You can look at your posture too. Stand straight, look in the mirror, and are your ears balanced, or is your head tipped a little? You know, it won't look like it's tipped because the bones are inside your head, but you can look at how the ears are. Or are the shoulders balanced? Look at your hips. Are they at the same height?
So how would you do that looking in the mirror?
You want to stand in front of the mirror, stand straight, hold on because sometimes when people close their eyes, you're going to lose your balance. Close your eyes, move your head back and forth, stand up where you think you're straight, open your eyes and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how most people find out that they have a problem with their nervous system. They don't until it's too late. You know, they always say, oh, I don't have anything wrong with me until I'm sick or until I'm in pain. A lot of people have pinches in their nervous system that they can't necessarily feel. You know, it's very subtle, and then it starts, you know, blocking from your brain to this organ, this gland.
Because pain is only, what, 10% of the nervous system function?
And then wham!
And then wham. So a lot of people have something wrong with their nervous system and not even know about it. So the best thing you can do is, you know, yeah, you can do a couple of checks on yourself. You can bring your hands up. You can look in the mirror. The best thing to do is to be proactive about it, to get a jump on it, and say, you know what, I'm just going to get my nervous system, get my spine checked, go to a chiropractor preemptively, and say, you know, I don't have anything wrong with me, and I want to keep it that way. And that's the healthiest thing that you can do, because most people who have something wrong with their nervous system can't tell. There's no symptoms, there's no pain, there's nothing associated with it, and they have no idea, and then it becomes a problem.
And that's the dream.
And that's the dream.
So that was great. I love the dream. So we have a little bit of time left, just a few minutes, and I wanted to go over things to do or not to do when dealing with the weather. You know, we have right now winter, it's here, shoveling, soon it's going to be spring. And so what are some major tips out there to not injure yourself? Because every year, I mean, I'm not trying to kill my practice, but I get a whole flock of these guys come in. Women, men, kids. Go ahead.
The main piece of advice that I give any season, any activity, no matter what you're doing, is pay attention to yourself. Whether you're, you know, shoveling the snow or whether you're walking through a parking lot, paying attention to yourself makes a lot of difference. I'll take a second and just talk about walking in the parking lot, because I've had a slew of patients myself lately that have been, you know, slip and falls, or even just slip and not falls, which can be
Those
almost
are
just as
sometimes
bad.
worse.
You slip and you kind of do this number here and you catch yourself, but you jerk this, you jerk that, this flew this way. You didn't fall all the way down, but you felt it. When you're walking, pay attention. Pay attention to where you're stepping, pay attention to how you're moving, pay attention to your surroundings. Take it slow. A lot of people, they get in a rush, and that's where issues happen. Pay attention. You know, if you're going down icy stairs, use the handrail. Just take your time. Pay attention to yourself. If you got to do, I know it's not proper ergonomics for walking, but if you got to do that, you know, Michigan Penguin walk to make sure you're not slipping and falling, do it, because you want to be careful. Again, paying attention to yourself. Pay attention to what kind of shoes you're wearing. You know, you want to have traction on your shoes. If you're wearing fancy dress shoes that are slick on the bottom, you might end up slipping. You want nice traction on your shoes. You don't want to slip when you're out and about.
You can also put that in a briefcase, your shoes, the fancy shoes, and walk in with the regular shoes and then switch them.
Yep.
Because, or a purse or whatever, you know, they don't have to be wet or anything, just your indoor shoes.
Yep.
I'm talking because I have tennis shoes on.
Yeah, no,
I said, I put my fancy shoes on this morning. I said, I'm going to fall for sure. And being older and not like bouncing like I used to, I've decided against it. So anyway, yeah. Any more tips here?
I would say that you don't want to bend and lift, because there have been studies that show when you bend and lift, it puts more pressure on your discs. So if you're shoveling snow, you don't want to be bending and lifting. You can push it, or better yet, they have these ergonomic shovels nowadays where there's a bend in the handle and you can push it and then you can lift it up without bending down.
What's the multiplier when you bend and lift something?
It's like 10 times the pressure.
10 times. You multiply the weight you're lifting by 10.
And then if you hold it far away from your body,
Then
which
it's
a
even
shovel has the
more.
weight further away from the body, it multiplies it again. So you want to keep it close into your body if you're lifting something, if you can. Not when you have a shovel, but keep it close as you can, and don't bend. Keep your body straight.
Well, we're going to wrap this up here. We got just another 2 minutes or so. We talked today about the history of chiropractic. We talked about the dream. And we talked a little bit about safety on what to do as far as cleaning and doing different things out there. I always, keep it in close. I like to say keep your elbows in on that end of things.
That's for another thing. You keep your elbows in because when you reach out your arm, your shoulder blades retract and they're not protecting your spine, and then you can easily pull a rib out because those small muscles are about the size of your pinky. So if you keep your elbows in, your back muscles are protected more between your shoulder blades.
And you're less far out, and you're not multiplying it by that.
That's true
10,
too.
15 pounds. The closer you keep it to your
I'm
center
just
of
so
gravity.
proud of my children. They're so smart.
And I'm so proud of you. You guys are like my genius level people.
Aw.
Yeah. By the way, this is our normal conversation at dinner talk. So, welcome to the Ratting Group. Anyway, we're like this, just going. We just get together. We talk like this all day. And the later it gets, the weirder it gets. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For all of you out there, God gave you the gift of life. What you do with that life is your gift back to God. And so get out there and serve in abundance. Love and appreciate you, and we'll see you next month at Ask the Chiropractor.
All right, and welcome back to Ask the Chiropractor. We're just going to end the show off today showing you guys some exercises that you can do at home. These are quick exercises, quick stretches that you can do on a daily basis. We call them spinal hygiene exercises, similar to dental hygiene. It's something you should do every day. I always recommend when you do your dental hygiene, when you're brushing your teeth in the morning or when you're brushing your teeth at night, when you're getting ready, do these exercises real quick. It just takes 3 to 5 minutes or so, and really makes a difference, keeps your spine healthy. We're going to start off what we call our flying friends. We have 3 flying friends. We're going to take them from biggest to smallest. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start off what we call the inner winter posture. So inner winter posture, you want to stand up nice and straight, feet shoulder width apart, bring your shoulders back, bring your head back, tuck your tummy in. This is the inner winter posture. We call it the inner winter posture because it's the posture that winners have after a sporting event or something. If you've ever been to a sporting event and seen the team that loses, they're walking around like this. We don't want to be that team. We want to be the winner. So we're standing up nice and straight, keeping that good posture. So from the inner winter posture, our first flying friend is called the eagle. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to bring our arms up our sides, take a deep breath in, bring our head back, go all the way up. You'll feel your spine stretch out. When you go back down, breathe back out, and could just bring your head back down in neutral. You don't need to look down. Do it 2 or 3 times. Tilt your head back again. Come back up. Deep breath in. Really feel your spine stretch. Go back down. Bring it back to neutral. So that one's the eagle. The next one we like to do is called the hummingbird. The hummingbird, I really like it. You can do it in a work environment and everything. But again, same thing, that inner winter posture. We're going to bring our arms up, and we're just going to make small circles backwards. Really focus right between our shoulder blades. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to combat this posture where our shoulders go forward. So really just kind of pulling our shoulders back. You can vary the muscle groups a little bit. You can kind of move your arms up a little bit, keep circling backwards. You can move your arms down a little bit, keep circling backwards. Another variation you can do is just kind of get some motion in the spine with it. We call it the drunken hummingbird, where you just fly a little bit crooked. You can go both ways there. Okay. So now we got the eagle, we got the hummingbird. The next one we're going to do is called the butterfly. Basically what we're going to do for the butterfly, we're going to be, again, combating this posture that everything's going forward. So for this one here, we're just going to link our hands together. Again, keep that same inner winter posture. Put your hands back behind your head, and you're not going to be pushing into your head with your hands. We're not trying to get our head to go forward. We're going to be pushing backwards with our head into our hands. And it's just light motion, just push into your hands. And the motion that we're doing, we're not even looking up, we're just going straight backwards with our heads. So just kind of push in and relax it, and push in and relax it. Just take a couple minutes and really just kind of work those muscles there. But those are our 3 flying friends. Again, we got the eagle, we got the hummingbird, we got the butterfly. Like I was saying, just do them in the morning, do them in the evening. Take some time, exercise, like we were saying with the 5 pillars of health. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching Ask the Chiropractor.